Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Today was a pretty rough day for trading results wise, but it was pretty okay for psychology. Didn't let it really get to me, I guess. But today, I think I really just sat down and listened to why I am a primarily a buyer than a seller, but I know that sometimes being a buyer can also mentally block you from thinking about selling. So today was definitely one of those days where I just need to look at the facts. Like when it's time to sell, it's time to sell. There's nothing else to it with clear evidence and broad daylights. Now this do look like a bunch of stuff, but I'll clean it up as I explain. So we have I think I might just start deleting everything that I'm not using for real. But around 7 o'clock to let me get this out. Yep. So around 7 through 7:30, price made a primary buy side liquidity grab. Now I was thinking, well, I'm just gonna explain first. Created that and then created the sell side liquidity grab. Now, what I was looking for was anything to basically I was looking for sells. I was honestly looking for sells today because I was looking for price to come here and interact with the previous day low, the new week opening gap, and the volume imbalance all right here. So I waited for price to basically give me an entrance. Now, it gave me at least one, two, three, four, five, six entries. I'll say I only took two in this picture right here, and then the other two are just lost. But this was definitely a learning curve for me for sure. That when I see the evidence lead to selling, that I should just stick with the narrative. Now, I was on board with selling right off rip. The only thing that would get me is trusting the fact that if it really is gonna sell, then I need to stop trying to just. If I'm looking for a sell, I just need to find an entry to get in versus trying to consistently buy and wait for price to continuously finish running when it's not most likely going to come back, or it's not going to stop running for a while and it basically missed the move. But unless there's high volume news or something, then I don't know. But I seen this guy right here. Seen this guy reject the order block. Never did. Whole day the order block was never broken. Could have took a sell off that. Plus price was rejecting the primary buy side liquidity grab up here. Could have took a sell off that. Could have took a sell off this. Seen in the premium and discount that in the discount there was a perfect fair value gap to this to the downside and another liquidity grab here, which also was in my face and I wanted to get in, but I wanted to be safer. So I ended up letting it run and letting it run some more. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4 entries to get in. And when I finally got in, I got in when it was like basically not like 8:56, but I got in and I got afraid of sorry. I got afraid of just holding a sell because I'm I was I was thinking that well maybe this wasn't that trade or I was gonna stop prematurely or maybe it wasn't gonna really go there, but it really didn't. Even if I did held, but second time coming around, that would have been a perfect entry right there, straight to the downside. And then what I learned was that when there's a volume imbalance and when there's a new week opening gap, it can act as like a Pacific support or resistance for price. Basically, if it's not gonna break through, then it's no resistance at all. So it's gonna go right through it, and price did definitely like gravitate towards it, and it did not hold. That new week opening gap did not hold water. Basically, it just basically let price go right through it like butter with a hot knife, and it did give me another entry here to sell, but after I seen that, I was kind of like, well, if it's gonna do that, I feel like it's no. When it was approaching, I felt like it was going to reverse. That's when I started thinking like, all right, this is probably the time that price sweeps out liquidity, sell side liquidity grab, and then starts moving up. When that wasn't the case, as soon as I seen it afterwards, then I was like, oh, it's kind of too late. Technically, it wasn't too late if I was still selling, but it was just, I guess, analysis paralysis, or just I'm not really comfortable selling, but I'm trying to get out of that. But another factor was that previous day high and low. When a previous day high and low gets swept, that's most likely where price is gonna go. Like regardless, like that's your true answer, because previous day low got swept. I mean, not swept. It got purged through alongside with the new week and the volume imbalance. So not only the new week and volume imbalance is powerful enough to push price even further down, like explode down, it also purged right through previous day low, which also is like a third. It was such a big slap in the face, basically. So as price kept tanking down, it was definitely one of those days where I felt like I needed it, because how else am I gonna learn? How else am I gonna really grow into like those monstrous trades from like here, for example, or like here, for example, and just have the confidence to hold regardless the side it's on, like buy or sell, and just hold it all the way through to where I believe it's going to go to. Because all these, the new days and volume imbalances, I could have technically, or some certain fair value, I could have technically take profit off of. Could have taken profit off of this guy, probably the consequent encroachment of that. Or if I was really looking at a higher time frame, I can target higher time frame liquidity, or just, take what you can get, pay yourself and walk away. But the whole point is, I really need to understand, like, when it's time to sell, it's time to sell. And don't be afraid, but just know that selling is just the opposite of buying. And whatever I've been doing beforehand, when I was just buying everything, it's basically the opposite now. So right now in this very moment, I just have to inverse everything. Even the mentality of how I approach the trade. Stop. If the day is not really, if higher time frame is set up to where there is no, I want to say, bearish structure, I mean, no bullish structure, then I should be looking for sells. And if it's bullish structure, then I should be looking for buys. It's not. I did some deep work, and it's not the fact that I don't have a foundation. The foundation is there, and I know how to read a market analysis. It's really just having trust issues with the fact that if it's selling, then I need to, I guess, trust how aggressive selling can be. And when it comes to certain fair value gaps, they're gonna be ran through. And when it finally comes to a certain fair value gap, that's where I should take profit. Or before the selling begin, that it should be pretty easy and pretty obvious. Like, did price sweep out buy side liquidity? Yes or no? And did it create a fair value gap? Yes or no? Or did it retrace to make an optimal trading entry? And is there a fair value gap inside the optimal trading entry of the retracement? Yes or no? Then take the trade and just really just trust it. Trusting it that it's just going to do its own thing, and giving it time and price. Price to do its thing, and time that it will, engineer liquidity towards whatever open gap that I'm trying to target, or whatever structure or whatever take profit I'm targeting. So I think today's lesson is definitely just switching my mindset from a buyer's mentality to a seller's mentality based off of the market structure, mainly off of the daily 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'm looking for change of character. I'm looking for change of character, just in case like it is actually going to do the opposite. But now, since everything's been selling on the daily, so I kind of would expect that the hourly would like create those higher highs and higher lows. And when it do create higher lows, that I just need to identify, like, is it going to create another higher high, or is it going to continue further down, making a change of character, which will lead to like those mornings where price is like way up there and then retraces and then barely comes back up, and then it actually tanks and create that higher time frame lower low, or news or displacement or the real liquidity run, or yeah. But basically, I'm not too far off, and I know I'm so close, and everyone's telling me, and the results are telling me that I just have to keep going and have to keep trying to just adapt and not really overload myself with the fact that I just need to overwork myself like how I used to. But I guess it just comes with the same time and price. Yep. But other than that, that's all I got.